Hi readers, welcome back. Today we are going to learn I Can Learn About the Characters. Readers, you've learned to read stories thinking about what characters do and where characters go. And for the next part of our unit, you're going to learn something much more important. You're probably thinking, what's more important than what the characters do? More important than what happens? What could be more important than what happens? I'll give you a clue. Authors usually put the most important thing on the cover of the book. Let's study some covers and think, what's the most important thing in the story? Here's a Frog and Toad cover. Here's a Zelda and Ivy cover. Here's a Curious George cover. And here's a Henry and Mudge cover. What do you notice is on the cover of all of these books? The characters, right. So what do you think is the most important thing in the story? That's right, the characters. Today I want to teach you that the best part of reading stories isn't that you get to go on great adventures. It's that you meet interesting characters along the way. Characters are the most important ingredient of the story, so readers pay really close attention to the details about the character. When we read stories together, we don't just go on adventures with the characters, we get to know them. Will you join me in reading this book? And let's get to know the characters together. Let's do what readers do and try to learn about who Mr. Putter and Tabby the cat is. Let's get to know who they are, what they like, what they don't like, and all the kinds of things that they do and say. As I read, remember to think, what am I learning about the characters so far? This is called Mr. Putter and Tabby Drop the Ball. Let's take a sneak peek at the cover. I can see Mr. Putter playing baseball, and it looks like Tabby is a cat. He's right there with Mr. Putter. Chapter 1, Baseball. Mr. Putter and his fine cat Tabby loved to nap in the summertime. They loved napping in the garden. They loved napping on the porch. They loved napping in the car. Wow, are you already learning about these characters? I'm learning that Mr. Putter and Tabby love to take naps. Let's read a few more pages to try and learn more about them. It seems that we nap all the time, Mr. Putter said to Tabby one day. Tabby was old, and her frisky days were over. She loved napping. I think we need a sport, said Mr. Putter. Tabby opened one eye. I think we need baseball, said Mr. Putter. Tabby opened the other eye. I wonder where my old mitt is, said Mr. Putter. He headed to the basement. Tabby was wide awake now. So what else have you learned about Mr. Putter and Tabby? Think it. Blow it in your hand. Shout it at the screen. Awesome ideas! I heard many of you say that you learned Mr. Putter and Tabby are both old. They live in a house, and Mr. Putter used to play baseball. We know that because he said, I wonder where my old mitt is. He's going down to the basement to find it, and some of you even noticed that he has a lot of sports equipment in the basement. So maybe Mr. Putter was more active and more sporty when he was younger. I'm going to write down a Post-it note right now about something I learned about Mr. Putter. I put his name at the top of my Post-it, and then I wrote something I learned about him. He played baseball when he was younger. You are realizing now, readers, that pretty much the most important thing in this story is the characters. That's right. And that's true in life too. I mean, think about it. You've done a lot of stuff today. You did a lot of stuff yesterday. But do you say, yesterday I walked to the kitchen and got a snack? No, but you might say, yesterday I jumped on the trampoline with my mom. That's because she's a character, and that feels more important to us. When you go off to read today, yes, I want you to read about all the cool adventures that are happening in your books. But I want you to try really, really hard to pay attention to the characters that you're meeting along the way. Just like Henry and Mudge, just like Curious George and the Man in the Yellow Hat, just like Zelda and Ivy, and just like Frog and Toad. We get to go on adventures with all of these awesome characters. So you don't want to miss any important details, but you'll want to pay really close attention to your characters today. Okay, boys and girls, your challenge for today is to make a Post-it like mine in your book with the character name and one thing you learned about that character from reading the story. Okay, hurry, hurry, readers. Your characters are waiting. You better get going. But don't forget, when you start a new adventure, you've got to take a sneak peek. Happy reading!